All right, so good evening, everyone. Jose J Garcia, real estate investor, coach, and mentor. We got another Sunday, 8 p.m. EST time coaching series. They will continue. Nowhere in sight where I'm going to take those off. I love coming on here and answering any question possible and adding value, which a lot of emails are starting to come in again. A lot of emails, direct questions. And, a lot of these, most times my teams can answer these questions, but a lot of times if it's something that's got to be more specific with titles or specific due diligence or specific issues that they can't answer, then they'll forward over onto me. And then I'll go, of course, I'll either make a quick reel, a TikTok, a video where I can kind of answer everybody's question. Because again, I'm trying to add value. So if it's something that kind of keeps getting asked over and over, instead of just sending individual emails, I'm going to go ahead and either do a coaching on a Sunday, completely entire coaching, or just answer those questions out through a video so everybody gets the same answer. But definitely keep sending those questions in. A lot of them are repetitive. A lot of them you would know the answers if you join our Sunday coaching, because it's kind of what we're going over. So it also tells me who's coming on and who's not, who's actually reviewing our videos and who's not actually playing them. So again, a lot of the stuff that we coach, and I mean, my gosh, we've been going on this for almost 2 years. Almost 2 years of Sundays back to back. So it's definitely been a while. I mean, we've covered topic after topic. To think back when I first started, it was supposed to be a 7 week. It was a 7 week where it was every Sunday for 7 weeks, and it was going to be the step-by-step to invest in your first mobile home. After the seventh week, we thought about, let's do it again. Let's run it back to the beginning. Lesson number one, lesson two, and kind of start over. For those that didn't join us, because at the time, I don't think we were also sharing them on YouTube yet. So the recording wasn't out there. But then we thought, we're not going to do that. Instead, we're going to keep evolving with people. Most of them follow us or follow social media. And they just, other lessons, more topics, and more discussions, again, just constantly growing, constantly adding value. So that being said, tonight's coaching call, the one that was asked was how to pitch to lenders. That, I just had a credit card. It was how to use credit cards to finance, to invest in mobile homes. I think it was about a month ago. So I kept saying that a couple weeks ago as well. If y'all are interested in something like that, because when you think hard money, private money, credit cards, traditional banking, credit unions, etc., all those are sources to your investments. All those are sources of income, the funding to be able to use for your investments. So definitely go back and check on some of that. We touched a little bit on hard and private money lenders, some comparisons, etc. But tonight's going to be more how to pitch. And this question was actually asked by 3 different investors at the shadow we had in Central Georgia. Is how do you pitch to lenders? So look, it's not a bad thing that you need lenders, especially if you're investing steady, because the more you invest, the more obviously money you got out there, the longer it's going to take you to get it back. That, if you're doing rentals, rent to owns, lease options, you will be out of money for X amount of time. Now, how much money can you invest and be able to do so? That's a question only you can answer. If I have 100,000 that I can invest, well, then, having 2-3 mobile homes at 10,000 per each, let's just say, then I'm not so concerned of it coming back immediately. I see that the returns are there and they're steady coming back. So that's one thing. And even so, even if you do have 100,000, sooner or later you will run out because you're doing so much investing at one time. When I first started doing my very first investments, I did 10 individual rentals. I was a landlord. It was all rentals at the beginning. Obviously, I had, let's just say, $6,000-7,000 per home. You get a deposit of whatever amount may be, which is typical the same thing of what the first payment will be. First rent payment, let's just say 700. That's 1,500 in. That's not all your money back of what you need. So you see where you're trickling backwards. But again, in a positive way, you're creating your assets. It's just taking your time. Bottom line is, sooner or later, you will need cash from other sources, some type of funding that's going to obviously be able to help you and keep on going. Now, the goal with that, and I'm going to say this one time, is, okay, you got to be responsible. You have to treat other people's money. These are my coach's words. You got to treat other people's money better than you treat your own. Some of you, I'm not calling anybody out, but if you're having a hard issue money managing, you might not want to get into this whole hard or private money lending until you can manage your funds. Okay. To me, it's pretty simple math. You borrow X amount, you can double, triple that, whatever it may be. You pay your investors, you get the profits, and split whatever amounts you decided on, and you go to the next deal and the next deal. Okay. So definitely, again, check that one. Credit card. I may just put a link on this video when we put it on YouTube as well, so y'all can get to that as well. But so we actually recently just changed, and we're going to change again probably in a couple of months. Not change, but add. We don't change something that works. To us, it's always more like and that type as well. And what I'm referring to is we do a set of private lending. We do lending with a lot of investors, and I have probably 30 in our database that are currently doing investments with us. So it typically what we were doing was more like a 50-50. Pretty simple. I like it cut dry, black and white. It is what it is. I don't get into this whole 67, 32, 33% and all kinds of back end payments and all that's just confusing and it's too much time consuming. So what I like or what I was doing was 50-50, meaning that if you invested 10,000, I'm going to keep using that number, 10, 8 or $10,000, we would obviously take it on. You would do nothing. Basically, you're just the lender, even though your quotation is the joint venture, which means a little more, but I don't need the help. You know, I can manage the crews, I can get the rehab, the labor, the material, get the job done. And then we put it on the market and then we sell it or to create a lease option. If we sell it immediately outright, let's just say we sell it for 20,000, then obviously the first 8 or 10,000 invested will go back to the lender, and then the other ones would become a split halfway down the line. 5,000 at a 10,000, right? 5,000 each. So that was the traditional JV 50-50% kind of thing. But we've also now incorporated a 6-month turnaround, which I think is a lot better for everybody, including investors, because the money's quicker, the money is more accessible there, and you can reinvest it. Some investors think that, well, I'm actually taking a cut that way because it's not 50%. Now, this is that. If you do the math, it's a lot more than that. Okay, 6-month turnaround. So I'm going to give you a pitch as to how I would pitch somebody. Okay, I'm thinking about a hard private money lender. I've never met him. First time, and this is how I would pitch it. Okay, but let me explain how that one is first for you, so y'all kind of understand. So typically, it is again put the funds that will in total be for the investment. That means that I need, let's say, $8,000. I need $8,000. That's going to buy the mobile home. That's going to buy the material, the labor, the holding, the utilities, everything. For $8,000, yes, just 8K, I can invest in the mobile home and become a landlord or a homeowner. So that's the funds that I need. I need $8,000. After I get the $8,000, it is a 6-month. So it's not even a 12-month. It's a 6-month turnaround at 25%. Okay, 25% out of 8,000 is $2,000. So talk about putting your money to work. That's what you're doing here. Benjamin, send Benjamin to work. They bring more money than you and I will ever will. Okay, they don't work for time. Okay, they multiply. But so in a 6-month, you would get the whole 8,000 you originally invested into 2,000, which would equal $10,000. You can then do it again and do it again, and you can see how you rotate in this. You know you're investing the money, and that's what you can pitch it to somebody who may want to invest with you. Second option that we did give on that as well is some people still like monthly payments, which is fine. But typically, all you're going to do is you're going to split the spread, which would be 25% of the 8,000, which is $2,500. I think I got the math right, $2,500, and you would split it between 5 months. Month 1, month 2, 3, 4, and 5 gets X amount of payment, and then on the 6th month, here's your original 8K transition. At that point, the transaction is complete, if you will. Okay. One second. Let me see. Sunday coaching. All right. So I'll get to these questions here. Like I said, I'm moving along pretty quickly, but okay. So now pitching. When I first got started investing, that was one of the hardest tasks. I don't like asking people things. It's against my nature. It's against my religion, I think. I don't like asking people for things. And when I first started getting into this, and I was obviously out of money after 10 mobile homes rentals, I'm doing great. It is some money returning, but I don't have enough funds to kind of keep going. So then obviously the suggestions that I'm getting from people is, I will go to a hard money lender, go to a private money lender. Okay. And immediately in my mind, I thought, well, I got to go borrow money. I don't want to ask anybody for money. So that was the wrong approach. And I think a lot of you, when you're pitching, that's kind of how you're approaching it, is you're going out there to quotations borrow. Yes, you're borrowing in a sense, okay? But what you are doing instead, and more so you should be pointing out, is you're offering opportunities. There is a lot of people out there that have 401ks, IRAs, money in their savings, money under their pillows. I don't know, old time's sake, right? And their money's doing nothing. Money depreciates. Okay, we know that. I'm not going to get into the whole lesson of money depreciating. What was worth $1 now it's not, etc. You can learn that on your own. But bottom line is, like, what if I could take your money and double it? What if I could take your money and invest it in a secure asset and create you higher returns? Some of you think about putting it in a CD. I don't know if those things are still around, CD or savings or whatever you can do in the banks, which is typically 0.00 so many zeros and then a percentage. It's nothing. You're getting no returns on that. Not to mention how many years would it take you before you start seeing something that's actually meaningful. Take that same money, put it to work, and you can do a lot more than that. So again, if I was reaching out to a hard money lender, private money lender for the very first time, talk about numbers. Forget about the product. Don't talk about the product. Let them ask you, what is the product? That's the way to approach. Okay. So I would go to Mr. or Mrs. Hard Money Lender. I have a great opportunity for you that is backed up by an asset. That's what the mobile home is. It's personal property, yes, but it is an asset. Okay. For as little as 8K, you can see a return of as top as 25%, not in a year's time, but 6 months. Now, for those of you doing math, 25% times 2, which would be a year, 50%. Think about those numbers. Okay. Again, nobody's getting those type of returns. The bank is not giving you no 50%, that's for sure. So multiplying by deals. And somebody would say, well, why do you need only $8,000 or $10,000? Well, the investment that you're going to do, which is one, okay, that's the funds that we need. Now, if you want to do multiple of these, because now as an investor, you're thinking, well, let me do 2 of them. Let me do 3 or 4. So then there are 4, but each one is an individual lend to. So each one, treat them individual. Don't ever blend mobile homes. And I do this even with material. Contractors say, hey, let's go ahead and get it. Let's go ahead and get enough for this other unit while we're here, etc. No. Each one is its own account. That's how I treat it. Each one individually. When we're done with one, we go to the next one and the next one. Everything is separate, okay? But tell them I mentioned those things. You can multiply those if you do multiple at one time and get higher returns, okay? Again, talk about putting your money to work. Now, they will ask you at that point, when you start talking about 25% on 8,000, 6 months, and then if you roll it over after 6 months, you can take that same, you can take your profits, which out of 8,000, 25% is 2,500. Again, I hope my math is right. And then you can roll over your original 8,000 into it again. And then in 6 months down the road, you get another 2,000 or 2,500, whatever 25% is. And you keep on doing it over and over and over. You see the winning strategy. Most people at this time, they ask me, what is this investment anyway? What are you investing in? Oh, it's a manufactured mobile home. Big surprise. It never fails. It's like mobile home. Now, think about it if you pitched it from that source, okay? Let's play the same scenario, same brand new hard money, private money lender for the first time, and I call him for her. Mr. or Mrs. Private hard money lender, whatever you may be. We have a mobile home that we're looking to invest in. It's distressed and we need to put all kinds of work in it, some rehab, some labor. We're going to be hiring contracts, and nobody's listening to that. Okay. Mobile homes will never lose the stigma. Let me remind you of that. There's a stigma that follows mobile homes, and it's always the trailer trash, drugs. I think of M&M, the list goes on. That exists. I like to say that part of that is the reason that it's not as busy yet, even though, massive investors are in it, at this point. Warren Buffett's invested in mobile homes, so that tells you something. But they know about the stigma, and they're going to focus on the stigma. It's hard for you to start with a negative thought and get somebody to do a positive reaction. So I've heard pitches before, and they're pitching it to me exactly like I just said. I tell them, pitch me this mobile home. How would you like me to obviously invest in it? I have a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. It's an 87 Fleetwood. It's like those people checked out. They've checked out. They don't want to hear about this. They don't hear about a mobile home. There's no security. It's not real property. You see all these things go down the line. Whereas if instead you did it like I just showed you, again, okay, I have an investment that is backed up by an asset. For as little as $8,000, you can invest on a 25% return. That sounds more engaging. I'm interested because you're talking numbers. And this goes down the line as well as if I want to invest in a new market. When I'm looking at due diligence and breaking down whether something is a good, bad, or maybe a potential deal, I'm looking at the numbers. The last thing I want to focus on is the mobile home. I know mobile homes, same thing, different cardboard box, different area, right? Probably the wrong term to use, but that's what we do. So we know where the numbers are, then we know if something is good or bad. And that's how you have to pitch it. Hard money, private money. Hard money lenders could be a little difficult sometimes. There's points they add to, there's application fees, and a lot of them treat themselves like giant corporations, which some of them are. Some are massive corporations out there that lend you. But so I would definitely say, between the two, preference, private money lenders. Private money lender could be friend, could be your uncle, could be your grandma, could be somebody's savings, Roth IRAs, or 401ks, etc. Somebody who has money. But again, think about the approach. I don't walk up to you, say, can I borrow $8,000 to invest? Don't do that. Instead, hey, I want to offer you an opportunity. How would you like to put $8,000 work or 10,000 or 12,000 up for work? And these are the returns that you could see. It is secured and backed up by an asset. That's huge. That's golden. And that's how you also pitch real estate. So I hope that helps. I said I was going to cut this call a little short. I got a few more minutes on here. I will answer any questions. I have a couple things to announce as well because we got a lot of big things happening. Awesome, awesome stuff. Big things. Busy schedule, busy week, but that's what we do. You know, we're always moving. Somebody asked me, do you ever take a break? I love what I do. I really do. I love what I do. I work 24/7. I carry a pad with me everywhere I go. Some of you been by my side and you know exactly what I'm talking about. But anyway, so all right, let me see. March 11th. I want to jump on that one real quick. March 11th, we're going to have the first event down in Tampa, Florida at our studio. Okay. It is a perfect time for us to get in there, play with all the, I call them gadgets, as cameras, microphones, everything. It is a massive studio there, and we're going to have an event there. The event is going to be how to create passive income with mobile homes. Now, you know, it's not the shadow. This is not the shadow because I will not be taking you out to a community to review mobile homes, mobile home parks, etc. But we will be reviewing our mobile homes and specifics on how to do rehabs because you need to know all these things, regardless of what passive income, exit strategy you're trying to get into. You got to know certain expenses, certain things you need to invest in. So I will pop up and we have a 26-foot screen that I can see and zoom into. I will show you specifics. In this corner, you see this bad flooring, this bad wall, this leak, etc. Here is how I would fix it. So we'll show you all those steps by steps. They're still there. But again, how to create passive income. I want to focus and really get into the nitty gritty of specifics, the real strategies too. You know, we got the 4 campers now. We're up and quickly. They're coming in. They're coming along. So I love it. 4 campers that we're going to be doing Airbnb, and we're starting them out in Central Georgia. That's also another event that's coming up. But before I get into that one, March 11th, if you go to our social media, and we're going to be popping up a lot of new pages, websites for this, we're really going to step up our game. It's what we're doing. We got a massive speaker that's going to be there. Guest speaker. He's phenomenal. So you definitely get to hear from him as well. March 11th down in Tampa, Florida. If you cannot attend, we're at the studio. So it's kind of like here, but a bigger giant Zoom screen. I can also host it virtually. So you can join us on that as well. March 11th, mark your calendars. Okay. Now, February 15th, which is in 2-3 days, Wednesday coming up. I'll fly to Tampa, Florida early morning, and I fly back to Atlanta late that night. So I'm there for a day. I'm there for the ribbon cutting with the Chamber of Commerce and the open house. That is the grand opening to our studio down in Tampa, Florida. Anybody that wants to join us down there, okay, there's no fee. Obviously, you just come, you do have the RSVP, but you get to be part of our grand opening, the ribbon cutting, and you get the tour. We're gonna have the studio playing all out. It's gonna be full 100% operating. Some of you can make some reels, some TikToks, some coaching. You know, that's gonna be I would say specifically important for coaches, mentors, and speakers because you know the stages are used that way. That's where I'll host my event, but it's, you know, you get the stage, you get to not only show to so many people live in person, but again, you can reach thousands through the Zoom, through the virtual media that we have as well. So that'll come up as well. Okay. Let me see. One more. Okay. The Airbnb. I don't have a date yet. I do not have a date as to when I will host the Airbnb event in Central Georgia, but I would say it'll probably be at the end of March or mid-March somewhere. Okay, March 11th is going to be a Saturday, all day Saturday down in Tampa, Florida, and possibly the weekend after that, I will take y'all out to the campers where at that point they'll be set up and already doing Airbnbs. Obviously, we'll have to book it so that we can tour and you can see the concept of that and be able to use that strategy as well. All right. Questions. Let me see if there's any questions real quick. This call is recorded as always, so don't forget that you can always catch the replay or Instagram will catch it directly, but you can also see it on YouTube. Follow GarciaMHU.com. All over social media is there. Like I say, stay up to date with our social media because we got a lot of new pages. We got a couple new branding strategies that are coming on board as well. So our social media is definitely going to take a big upgrade, if you will. So a lot of things are happening, a lot of good things. But All right, that's all I have for this evening. Okay, how to pitch the lenders. Go back and rewatch the video. Tell me what you think. Okay, send me an email, j@garciamhu.com. Thank you for watching.